Shalom and welcome to Who is Yahuah. Thank you for joining me as we gather today's portion from the scriptures. Today's reading is Barashyth, Genesis, chapters 19 through 21. Barashyth, Genesis, chapter 19. The two messengers came to Sadam at evening. Lut was sitting in the gate of Sadam, and Lut saw them. He rose up to meet them and bowed himself with his face to the ground. He said, "See now, my masters, please turn aside into your servant's house. Stay all night. Wash your feet, and you can rise early and go on your way." They said, "No, we will stay in the street all night." He urged them strongly, so they came with him and entered his house. He prepared a feast, baked unleavened bread, and they ate. Before they lay down, the men of the city, the men of Sadam, surrounded the house, both young and old, all the people from every quarter. They called to Lut and said, "Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so that we may have relations with them." Lut went out to them at the entrance and shut the door behind him. He said, "Please, my brothers, don't act so wickedly. See now, I have 2 virgin daughters. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do to them what seems good to you. But do nothing to these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof." They said, "Stand back." Then they said, "This fellow came to live as a foreigner, and now he appoints himself a judge? We will deal worse with you than with them." They pressed hard against Lut and came near to break the door. But the men reached out their hands, pulled Lut into the house with them, and shut the door. Then they struck the men who were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so they became weary trying to find the door. The men said to Lut, "Do you have anyone else here, sons-in-law, your sons, your daughters, or anyone else in the city? Bring them out of this place, for we are about to destroy it. The outcry against its people has reached Yahuah, and Yahuah has sent us to destroy it." Lut went out and spoke to his sons-in-law, who were pledged to marry his daughters. He said, "Get up, leave this place, for Yahuah is about to destroy this city." But his sons-in-law thought he was joking. When morning dawned, the messengers urged Lut, saying, "Hurry, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, or you will be swept away in the punishment of the city." But he lingered. The men grabbed his hand, his wife's hand, and his 2 daughters' hands, Yahuah being merciful to him, and brought them out and set them outside the city. As they brought them out, one of them said, "Escape for your life. Don't look back, and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Escape to the mountains, or you will be consumed." Lut said to them, "Oh no, my master. See now, your servant has found favor in your sight, and you have shown great loving kindness in saving my life. But I cannot escape to the mountains, or disaster will overtake me and I will die. Let me flee there. Isn't it a small thing? And let my life be saved." He said to him, "Behold, I have granted you this favor as well. I will not overthrow the city of which you have spoken. Hurry and escape there, for I cannot do anything until you arrive there." Therefore, the name of the city was called Su'ar. The sun had risen on the earth when Lut came to Su'ar. Then Yahuah rained sulfur and fire on Sadam and Amarah from Yahuah out of the Shamim. He overthrew those cities, all the plain, all the inhabitants of the cities, and everything that grew on the ground. But Lut's wife looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. Abram got up early in the morning and went to the place where he had stood before Yahuah. He looked toward Sadam and Amarah and toward all the land of the plain. He saw that the smoke of the land went up like the smoke of a furnace. When Elohim destroyed the cities of the plain, he remembered Abraham and brought Lut out of the middle of the catastrophe when he overthrew the cities where Lut had lived. Lut went up out of Su'ar and lived in the mountains with his 2 daughters because he was afraid to stay in Su'ar. He lived in a cave with his 2 daughters. The firstborn said to the younger, "Our father is old, and there is no man on earth to come into us, as is the custom everywhere. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him so we can preserve our father's seed." They made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father. He did not know when she lay down or when she got up. The next day, the firstborn said to the younger, "See, I lay with my father last night. Let us make him drink wine again tonight, and you go in and lie with him, so we can preserve our father's seed." They also made their father drink wine that night. The younger went in and lay with him. He did not know when she lay down or when she got up. Thus, both of Lut's daughters became pregnant by their father. The firstborn bore a son and named him Moab. He is the father of the Moabim to this day. The younger also bore a son and named him Ban-Ami. He is the father of the children of Amun to this day. Barashyth, Genesis chapter 20. Abraham traveled from there toward the land of the south and lived between Kadesh and Shur. He lived as a foreigner and Garar. Abraham said about Sarah his wife, "She is my sister." Abimelech, king of Garar, sent for Sarah and took her. But Elohim came to Abimelech in a dream during the night and said to him, "Behold, you are as good as dead because of the woman you have taken, for she is a man's wife." Now Abimelech had not come near her. He said to Yahuah, "Will you destroy even a righteous nation? Didn't he tell me she is my sister? Even she herself said, he is my brother. I have done this with a clear conscience and clean hands." Elohim said to him in the dream, "Yes, I know that you have acted with a clear conscience, and I also kept you from sinning against me. This is why I did not let you touch her. Now restore the man's wife. He is a prophet, and he will pray for you, and you will live. But if you do not return her, know for certain that you will surely die, you and all who belong to you." Abimelech rose early in the morning, called all his servants, and told them all these things in their hearing. The men were very afraid. Then Abimelech called Abraham and said to him, "What have you done to us? How have I sinned against you that you have brought such a great sin upon me and my kingdom? You have done things to me that should not be done." Abimelech said to Abraham, "What prompted you to do this?" Abraham said, "Because I thought, surely the fear of Elohim is not in this place, and they will kill me because of my wife. Besides, she is indeed my sister, the daughter of my father, though not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife. When Elohim caused me to wander from my father's house, I said to her, 'This is how you can show your loving kindness to me. Everywhere we go, say of me, he is my brother.' Abimelech took sheep, cattle, male servants, and female servants, and gave them to Abraham, and he restored Sarah, his wife, to him. Abimelech said, 'Behold, my land is before you. Live wherever it pleases you.' To Sarah he said, 'Behold, I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. It serves as a vindication for you before all who are with you. You are completely justified.' Abraham prayed to Elohim, and Elohim healed Abimelech, his wife, and his female servants so they could bear children again. For Yahuah had completely closed the wombs of every woman in Abimelech's household because of Sarah, Abraham's wife. Barashyth, Genesis chapter 21. Yahuah visited Sarah as he had said, and Yahuah did for Sarah as he had spoken. Sarah conceived and bore Abraham a son in his old age, at the appointed time that Elohim had promised him. Abraham named his son, whom Sarah bore to him, Yatschaq. Abraham circumcised Yatschaq, his son, when he was 8 days old, as Elohim had commanded him. Abraham was 100 years old when Yatschaq was born to him. Sarah said, "Elohim has made me laugh, and everyone who hears will laugh with me." She added, "Who would have said to Abraham that Sarah would nurse children? Yet I have borne him a son in his old age." The child grew and was weaned. On the day Yatschaq was weaned, Abraham held a great feast. Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Matzrith, whom she had borne to Abraham, mocking. She said to Abraham, "Cast out this maidservant and her son. The son of this maidservant will not share the inheritance with my son Yatschaq." This matter distressed Abraham greatly, because it concerned his son. But Elohim said to Abraham, "Do not be distressed over the boy or your maidservant. Listen to everything Sarah tells you, because it is through Yatschaq that your seed will be reckoned. Yet I will also make a nation of the son of the maidservant, because he is your seed." Early the next morning, Abraham took bread and a skin of water, gave them to Hagar, put them on her shoulder, and sent her away with the boy. She departed and wandered in the wilderness of Barashyth. When the water in the skin was gone, she placed the boy under one of the bushes. Then she went and sat down nearby, about a bow shot away, for she thought, "I cannot watch the boy die." As she sat nearby, she wept loudly. Elohim heard the boy crying, and the messenger of Elohim called to Hagar from the Shamim and said to her, "What is the matter, Hagar? Do not be afraid. Get up, lift up the boy, and take him by the hand, for I will make him into a great nation." Then Elohim opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. She went and filled the skin with water and gave the boy a drink. Elohim was with the boy as he grew. He lived in the wilderness and became an archer. While living in the wilderness of Haran, his mother got a wife for him from the land of Matzrim. At that time, Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his army, said to Abraham, "Elohim is with you in all that you do. Now swear to me, here by Elohim, that you will not deal falsely with me, my children, or my descendants. Show to me and the land where you have lived as a foreigner the same kindness that I have shown to you." Abraham said, I swear it. Then Abraham complained to Abimelech about a well of water that Abimelech's servants had seized. Abimelech replied, I do not know who has done this. You did not tell me, and I only heard about it today. So Abraham brought sheep and cattle and gave them to Abimelech, and the two of them made a covenant. Abraham set apart 7 ewe lambs from the flock, and Abimelech asked him, What is the meaning of these 7 ewe lambs that you have set apart? Abraham replied, You are to accept these 7 ewe lambs from me as a witness that I dug this well. This is why the place was called Barasheth, because there the two of them swore an oath. After they made the covenant at Barasheth, Abimelech and Phicol, the commander of his army, returned to the land of the Philistine. Abraham planted a tamarisk tree in Barasheth, and there he called upon the name of Yahuah, the everlasting Elohim. Abraham lived as a foreigner in the land of the Philistine for many days. Thank you for joining me to gather today's portion. May we continue seeking Yahuah through his word and growing in the knowledge of him one day at a time until Yahusha gathers us. Shalom.